Now to the Middle East, where Israel and Hamas both say they are no closer to ending the war in Gaza. Hamas adds that following the death of its leader yesterday, the terror group will not release more hostages until there is a ceasefire. Yahya Sinwar was the architect of the October 7th terror attack on Israel. His killing by Israeli forces offers a potential window to shift the dynamic in the war in Gaza. Both Hamas and Hezbollah, another terror group backed by Iran, considered Sinwar a martyr. Hezbollah is vowing a new phase of fighting against Israel. President Biden says a peace deal in Gaza will be difficult.
We think that there's a possibility of working for a ceasefire in Lebanon, and it's going to be harder in Gaza, but we agree that there has to be an outcome. What happens the day after?
And for more, we bring in Gershon Baskin, Middle East peace negotiator and expert on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Gershon, great to have you back on. So there's so much to unpack here. But first, where does the death of Yahya Sinwar leave Hamas? Is there a succession plan in place, or is this the end of the terror group?
No, I'm afraid it's not the end of Hamas as a political and military movement. It has shaken Hamas deeply, but there are people already scrambling for leadership positions. It's doubtful if anyone has the ability, the power, and the control to be Yahya Sinwar, who was killed by Israel. There's no one who can probably be the head of the political division of Hamas and the military division of Hamas. But we will see existing leaders taking control of the movement. And the question is, what direction will they go in? After a war with Israel, after 2 million people homeless in Gaza, Gaza being destroyed, will Hamas start doing some internal accounting and perhaps change their ways? They have declared victory in that they brought the Palestinian issue back to the international agenda. It would be great if they would accept that as a victory and then move on to be a non-military political movement within the Palestinian national cause.
Gershon, I want to talk about Israel. How does the killing of Sinwar change things for them? And what are their options now?
Right. Well, first of all, Prime Minister Netanyahu has the ability, if he wants, to declare victory. He has his victory picture. Sinwar is out of play right now, and there is no one significant Gaza controlling the military there. So if Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, was interested in ending the war, he would have an ability to do that now. I'm afraid he doesn't want to end the war, and this is where we're stuck. The fate of the hostages is unknown. The hostages could be executed by their captors in Gaza as a result of the Sinwar killing, or Israel could exploit the opportunity of chaos and offer a deal to anyone holding Israeli hostages that they would have free passage out of Gaza with their families and a bundle full of money. This might actually work, and I think the Israelis need to push forward very rapidly in trying to get a deal with Hamas that would free all the hostages and end the war. The question is here, is Israel willing to do it? And secondly, is President Biden willing to use American leverage on Israel to force Israel into a deal that would end the war?
Yeah, I want to switch gears now before I let you go. I know you were part of a delegation of Israelis and Palestinians who met yesterday with Pope Francis. Talk to us about that. How did that meeting come about? And what was it like for you to be a part of it?
Well, my Palestinian colleague Samar Sinjalawi and I have been bringing together the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and a former Palestinian Foreign Minister Nasser al-Kidwa. Nasser al-Kidwa is also the nephew of Yasser Arafat and a very senior member of the Palestinian National Movement who supports peace with Israel. We brought them together and they worked on a declaration of intent, a proposal to provide a kind of light forward of where we need to move to bring these two people to make sure this war in Gaza is the last war. And their document is inspiring a lot of people. And we were coming to Rome to meet with the Italian Foreign Minister. We contacted the Vatican to see if we could have an audience with His Holiness. And of course, he agreed to see them and us and delivered the document to him. And Pope Francis said that he would read the document carefully. He would issue a statement. He expressed his support for all efforts for peace. We held a moment of prayer together. And I must say that it was a very spiritual moment. We were the two former leaders and myself and my colleague, along with Pope Francis and a translator in a room together. And it was a great moment. And you feel the power of this man who is the spiritual leader for 1 billion people on this planet. It was a very important meeting, and we're quite certain that the Holy Father will come out with a positive statement backing this plan, which is really a way forward for the Israeli and Palestinian people to end up from this war with a genuine chance of reaching peace.
Yeah, and we do pray for that, Gershon. Thank you, as always, for your insights. Always appreciated.
Thank you.